This is the coin box, and it has three basic components to it. One is the motherboard. It has a relay board, also known as a driver board. This is what activates your trap once a signal comes from the motherboard. And over here on this side of the box, it has the coin and token receiver. And this is what it looks like inside the box. For the purpose of explaining how we're going to wire this up, the two boards represent what's in the box. Let's talk a little bit about how to connect the pull cord. The pull cord wires are hooked up to, pick one is for your high house, pick two is for your low house and common. One wire goes to one terminal, one wire goes to another one. The neutral wire goes to common. 3 is for your ATA trap. And we put the common wire on the common and the signal wire on the pick 3. Everything else will come pre-wired for you on this board. You have 3 other wires on the skeet and trap overlay board that you are going to have to wire, meaning these are the wires from the traps themselves. Every trap has a cord with 2 wires on it, and normally we use the L positive and the L negative. For the high skeet house, which means typically it's on the left, and we use the right positive and the right negative. For the low house, because it's on the right of the field, and the third positive and the third negative we typically use for the ATA trap. Polarity does not matter. L positive and L negative, one wire goes into one wire goes in the skeet machine. Polarity does not matter. One wire in one and one in the other, and same for the trap. Let's talk about powering for the board. The board needs power to operate it. You're going to have to get a 12-volt converter that you can buy at Radio Shack, which converts 120 AC into a 12-volt DC. And typically you'll want something between 800 to 1000 milliamps. DC output, it will cost about $20. And when we put the 12-volt positive wire to the where it says 12 volt, and we put the negative wire on the ground, you simply add that, and that's how you get power. Let's talk about the display. Okay, here is an example of the information that you will get off of your display. It says Briley C25. What that means is that the credit of each token is worth 25 targets. It can be set at any value that you so choose. The next line says the shots. You still have 111 targets. That represents the number of targets you still have credit before it zeroes out, and you must add more tokens. The bird target shows how many targets you still have available in the machine or machines themselves before the magazines must be reloaded. And when the available number of targets left in the magazines is less than 100, a little green light will appear on the front panel of the coin box, letting everyone know you're about to run out of targets. The total number represents all targets shot through the entire existence of the coin board. This is a permanent number and is read for computing the total volume of targets shot throughout the year. and a very good tool to make sure that how many birds that you've shot, period, and making sure that the tokens are returned to your office. The switch on the right side is a way to tell you how to register the targets that are on the magazine once they load it. This is a very good comparison. This switch on the side we use to instruct the coin box that we have loaded magazines in the houses. Each time you toggle it up, it adds 100 targets to the bird count. So if your skeet machine each hold 400 targets per magazine, then you would toggle it up as many times as needed to get an 800 bird count. So if your skeet machine each hold 400 targets per magazine, then you would toggle it up as many times as needed to get an 800 bird count. If you toggle it up too many times by mistake, you can toggle it down to decrease the bird count targets by each toggle, which will decrease by 25 birds per toggle. This bottom switch is used to clear the credits left by other shooters, so new shooters cannot shoot for free. The coin acceptor, if it has problems accepting coins because of grit, felt, or the stuff that collects in people's pockets, clean it. Don't be afraid to spray some very light oil on it if necessary. Just a very tiny amount will be sufficient. If you choose to change the size of your coins, you can also do this by simply changing this out. I'll show you how to install it. Press that in here. Come in here like this. And just place it like that and make sure that this is placed in square. Now, right now, this will tell you the C value is worth 25 targets, but we want to change that to 27 because that's typically where we set it. So I'm going to put this on number 7. And then I'm going to go and hit up 2 times because I want it to be worth 27. 1, 2. And then press enter. And you'll notice if you read it, it would say the value is equal to 27. Once I went to 7 and it gave me the new value of the screen, it went to 27. Now I can go back to the original coin count setting, which is 0. And that is basic coin operation.